Hi, you would have seen in my last video where I made a lamp out of a thick heavy chain, and I tried to sort of mimic a sort of swan look on it. Well, this time I've got another inspiration. I want to try and make a lamp that looks like a coiled up cobra ready to bite, and this is what this video is going to be about. So I just picked up this chain last night on Facebook Marketplace. Drove to Dagenham. Bought it's a really nice thick piece of chain. This is it's almost like that 8 or 10 millimeters. I haven't measured it. Thick, very heavy too. Apparently there's 3 meters here, but I don't think there is. But that doesn't matter. So the idea I've got in my head is kind of going by that sort of swan neck kind of finish, but this time it'll be a cobra. I kind of want it to go sort of like that, and then as it comes down here I'll coil the chain and leave a tail hanging out, and the bit which kind of make it look good is if I have the light on fixed kind of that position, somewhere like that. I'm not quite sure yet. I need to look at more photographs of a cobra, but something like that. As I say, so the chain will come down here and then it will coil, but I also want to put the flared bits on there on either side. You know how a cobra's got that sort of flared neck area, the wings or whatever the technical name for that is, and I'm thinking I might have a go at doing that with a smaller gauge chain and build it up sort of so that it's kind of sort of semi-solid, if you know what I mean. This will be a very heavy lamp by the weight of this stuff, but it should look really nice. So let's begin. So once again, like I did in my last video, my method of screwing some screws into my workbench and shaping the chain around them is what I'm going to do again today. So I kind of want to go sort of this, I don't know, sort of something like that to begin with. I'll start with that and see how I get along. Let's start off with a screw there. Find the end of that. And what I also sort of strive to do is get the links so that they're, rather than them sort of laying sort of in a flat position, I try to get them so that they're I don't know what's that word that I'm looking for, but yeah, rather than them being like that, I want to try and get them to be sort of, oh shit, I don't know the word, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to do here is kind of replicate the stance of a cobra, so when it's ready to spring into action and bite, and I don't know if I've quite got that yet. It's almost like it's got to have some bit of a recoil on it, like it's sort of springing back to jump at you. And I've got to work out how to position this so that it looks nice and natural. I feel that bend there is possibly too sharp. Yeah, that's kind of getting there now. Right, after messing around with this for about 10 minutes, I think I'm happy with the shape I've got for the actual main part of the snake. Keep on refining it, and I'm just kind of never completely happy with it, and I won't really know how it looks until I stand it up. So I think I've got to go for it and weld it up, weld this part together, and then once I've got it stood up, then I can work on the rest of it from there. Here we go. Right, so that's all the welding done for the first part. I'll just let that cool down, give it a cleaner, and see how it looks. Right, so here's the body of the snake welded up, and I kind of think that's the angle that I want it to sit at, and of course the light, which becomes the head of the snake, will be sitting up there. Then the next thing will be is to sort of wrap this thing sort of like around there, and how I'm going to do it, have a little tail on it, which I might just have sort of sitting up like that. This thing is bloody hot. This metal takes ages to cool down. That's it. No. Right. See you on the next bit. So, like I did in my last video, this time I used a piece of wire on a piece of string to support it upwards, and that's the kind of angle I want the snake to be sitting in, and then of course the head will go there. So I've laid out the shape of the coil that I want, which is like that, just a more or less a single coil, and then as the tail goes around it will come up, and I'll weld it and then just decide where I want to actually cut it off from. And then hopefully I've got a bunch of chain left over for another project. Alright, I'll give that a moment to cool down, then I'll give it a clean up and see how it looks. Time for a cup of tea. So the boring bit of cleaning it up now with a wire brush, a bit of Scotch Brite between the links, and then I'm ready for painting. Exciting times. And pretty much cleaned, a little bit more cleaning, and then it's kind of ready for paint. I've been thinking about, as I say, the bit where we have the wings of the neck of the snake, which sort of come out like that. Thinking about how to do that, and originally I was going to do that with a chain, but I don't know, I just feel like that might be a little bit too difficult. However, I just had this other vision in my mind of maybe a different way of doing it, and what I've gone and done, bought myself a length of this steel bar, round steel bar, I think 6mm. I'll make like semicircles, smaller and smaller and smaller, and sort of stick them either side, weld them either side. You'll know what I mean when I've done it, but that's the general idea. The only thing is I haven't got any form of metal bending equipment, so I don't know how I'm going to get that shape that I want there, and I'll have to work something out with that. Probably using screws on my workbench again. So now I've got both these pieces cut. Sort of looking and deciding where exactly I want to stick them, and I think it will be sort of one there and one there. As I say, if I can hold that, then maybe I might just do one more going through there and there. So now you can kind of see what I'm trying to do with this python thing, the cobra looking thing, but it's starting to look like a cobra. I've got it. Right, the whole thing has been cleaned up now, and got all the debris off of the chain. Bits of splatter, smoke that's just gone all over the place, and I am now ready to start spraying. So for this particular project I decided on satin black. I did want to go for matte black, kind of want to give it a bit more of an aggressive look, but well, satin black it is, and if I'm not happy I'll go over it with matte black. But, yeah, let's see how this goes. That'll do for the first coat. I'll give it 10 minutes and a few more coats and see how that looks. I've given this a couple of coats of paint. I reckon one more should finish it. Now I'm thinking about how am I going to connect this light holder to the frame. Whereas in my previous lights it would just be hanging down like that. I want this to stay at that angle, and something I haven't really thought about until now. So it might mean chopping up a little bit of this, I'm not sure yet, but I've got an idea, and it's worth a try. Attach this to there and that to there. So undecided about the way to do that yet. I've got a feeling I might have to notch out a piece of that link and then somehow tack this onto there. I really didn't want to do any more welding on this, but I think that's going to be the only way to do it. So let's try that out. Right, the paint is dried now, and this little part here worked out really well in the end. Actually quite pleased with the way the light holder has come out. So the next stage is, of course, that'll fit in there like that. I've decided on this red bit of wire. Thought it'll give a bit of an accent to this black snake and maybe make it look even more menacing with a red wire going through there. So I'll thread this through, wire it up and give it a try. Cable's been wired up, put the lamp in. And now time for the big reveal. And there it is. My Cobra light.